radio. The radio on, we got the radio on, and it feels like love, but it don't mean a thing.
Sure, right you are, but it's somewhat in the opposite
'Cause it feels like love,
whatever,
and we got the radio on.
Right now,
hey, there's a heartbreak break.
That is withholding.
Oh, we lost it. I don't know what I did here. Hold on. What do we do? Hey, come on. There's a feels like love, and it don't mean a thing. I just want to get to the point where we pick it up a notch. Here we go. And it feels like love. The radio on my blog. Right. So a lot of people think, I just do this like yesterday. So we talked to that gentleman for a while, and he told me his story a little bit. We'll pick it up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? A little bit. All right, the windshield wipers. So at the time he was coming over, he said he was married, all this kind of stuff. He had some kind of problems or something like that. And well, where he was, he just he was like in an alley. He had something in his thermos. It looked like beer or some sort. I don't know what the concoction was, but he told me where he was staying, which is odd. I mean, these are human facility, human services programs. I'm sure they're certified and launched and all that kind of stuff, for growth. See, the thing is, these are just places where, that's it. See, when I was in there, I would always be yelling at things or that look. You ever see when the pundits come out and they debate, especially with Trump? They have them on the screen and everything, and then their face, they're just this face of disgust. That's how I felt like. I felt like I would look around, like I said, you got all this material, nobody's taking advantage of it. Everybody's just when's lunch? or all this kind of stuff. Just not really concerned about doing what they're supposed to be doing. I mean, we have all these things, all these programs, and do they actually work? Who's overseeing them? I happened, be fortunate enough to find somebody that was the coordinator. He was just under a lot of people, but he was there for a while, and again, very fortunate enough for him to be there, just be grateful for how you meet people. It doesn't matter, what kind of brought you to meet them, like people that I met here. It's I'm online this morning, I'm there's not even one line. I just noticed that. Today, with the car, for the longest time, there was always this yellow light on. There's always this yellow light. You turn on, there's always this yellow light. It hasn't been on in a while. I think I got the car inspected 2 or 3 months ago. That's probably when it went off. It had something probably to do with the tires. I imagine that they rotated them or did something. Some kind of yellow light. So, this is in my possession. This is something, I see each day. I see, I get in. So, didn't notice it. Which tells me, I either I have a lot on my mind, or these pointless things don't matter to me. How could you not I got to the point where I just don't even look at any kind of indicator lights, because obviously I haven't, because it's not on anymore. So anyways, a nice gentle little segue into coming up with this solution. We've seen some people debate upon each other, And one of these guys is stealing mine and Johnny's techniques. I mean, they'll sit there and debate with people, and they say, oh, we got the deer up here. And it feels like love. Bambi. Bambi! Hey! What are you guys doing up here, man? What are you doing? We got the radio on. Come on down here. I got an apple. Come on. We got a light worker's birthday, too, over in Germany, where we met Gerardo. I don't know how to say his name. I call him Thor and all that. But I remember, yes, I did talk to him on the phone. I did an interview with him, so, and it was like a few months after that, he's like, you gotta give up the booze, man. You gotta give up the booze. I'm like, really? What makes you think that? Like, getting back to my other point about, like, the video I did yesterday. So I met this guy there. Yes, I'm concerned. Obviously, this is not like a fly-by-night. I just didn't just start doing this. I didn't, like, just get up and say, oh, I'm going to do a video like this. I'm going to go over and I'm going to, I'm going to do something totally bizarre. Something really strange. But his circumstance, like, so he ends up here at a facility. Very intelligent, though, very smart. I used to meet people like that all the time when I was at Uni House. There was this guy, the way he was drawing, the things he was saying. Another guy, too. That's why I'm saying that one time when I seen this guy walking through this. Well, no, when I used to see him up in Wyanskill, I'm saying, well, he looks awful familiar, like with someone who's like, all right, in our branch of government and stuff like that. Not branch, well, lower tier, at the local level. But there was this one guy, with the tie-dye shirts and all that kind of stuff. And at the time, they had places, I believe on, give me a minute here to think, Hoosick Street, or at the top of Hoosick. I forget what the name of that place was. I've visited a few times. I know it's not Sunny, something like that, but it's it's been a while. Certainly not planning any of this stuff. I don't have an office, and I just go on memory, basically. Well, let's see what McNamara has.
Vice depicts Cheney's unlikely rise to the vice presidency from obscurity in far-off Wyoming. Crazy Rich Agents is a delightful comedy, and I like the thrill of The Girl in the Spider's Web.
This guy almost sounds like Dennis Miller. The Dennis Miller Minute is unbelievable. I love that Dennis Miller Minute. Seriously, I wish I knew where to get it every day. Very, very intriguing. So anyways, we got to talk about inequality, like the huge gap in California. Huge gap. They don't seem to talk about it. They don't seem to talk about how huge this inequality gap is. It's also like that in New York. Need I say, like, New York and California, Democrat and all that kind of stuff. Not a knock or anything like that. But how are you going to fix all this stuff? How are you going to fix all it? And then this new thing here with the $5 billion. Like, it wasn't voted on or anything like that before, where, they had votes like 2006, 2010. All right, we know all that. It's out there. I'm sure people have become aware that at one time or another, and they weren't even they were asking for far much more money than this. And I guess Nancy offered $1. So you can just put a sign there, like maybe like knock. No, but all kidding aside, again, like I said yesterday, it doesn't really matter to me, like, what they do, but eventually, I mean, if you want all these things, I mean, basically, also they do it for. I mean, there's billions and billions of dollars to be made. Everybody knows that. No, well, I don't know. Maybe they do. Maybe they don't. There's billions and billions of dollars to be made in housing and medical and all this kind of stuff, like, And then plus, with the voting and all that kind of stuff. So, again, it really doesn't matter to me. But when you see people just calling people names about over all this, and getting back to Johnny, I'm sitting there like looking at one of our amigos do some kind of post, like, he's calling people liars and this and that. They don't know what they're talking about. Like, go see a psychiatrist, this, that. And then it's like, he ends it with like, oh yes, and here's some healing energy for you. This is ridiculous. This is just getting totally nuts. That we can't just all sit down. They can't, as one, as a country. It ain't gonna happen, man. It ain't gonna happen. Like I said yesterday, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen, man, after this? Trump is temporary. These problems are permanent. For now. So, like, something else comes along. I don't know. I mean, there is this kind of promise of a perfect world and all that kind of thing, And yes. So crazy people, like, or is that a bad name? I never, actually, when I was in the field, I never, we never ever said that, it was like, it was something you were taught, like, it's like, you don't say that, like, it's not. There's just something, there's something that other people just don't listen to them. Other people don't listen to them, and that's what happens. And it takes something, some kind of thing in their life, like a life-changing thing, and a lot of things happen, and they go, you should have something in place, like, to help people, get them back on their feet, but I'm telling you, like, ask anyone in the field, ask probation officers, police officers, human service workers, psychiatrists, this, that, ask them about things. Cause it like love. We got the radio on. There's a heartbreak, babe.